Hello, my lovelies. Happy Wednesday. Happy scoping out. I'm so glad that you're here. It's been a really long break, right? Like I took almost all of December off, but boy, did I need it. Oh my gosh. And I did not even realize how exhausted I was until I started resting. And I'm really glad that I took the break. So I hope you had a great holiday season. I hope that you got what you wanted out of it. Lots of good family time, recoup, rejuvenate, all of those wonderful things. And to today's point and today's topic, if you did all of those things, then January comes and it's hard to get back in the groove. I mean, at least I'm speaking for myself here. It's hard for me to get back in the groove. Like I said, I was more tired than I thought I was anyway. So not only did I come back feeling pretty tired, and that's saying a lot considering we take a really low holiday here, a really low key holiday here. We don't do all the manic craziness, over shopping, over committing. We don't do that in my house. So it's really saying a lot if I'm saying come January, I'm exhausted still, right? But I found that as I started coming back into my business and back into my routine and back into the things that hold meaning to me when there's not a special event, when there's not special plans and occasions, I actually really had a hard time sort of like getting back into the groove. And I know a lot of that is because we tend to rely on routine, and their routine's been upset. But here's what I want to offer you today, because I'm hearing from a lot of people that, yes, hard to get back into the groove. That's true. That's true for anybody who took any kind of break, even if it was just the little weekend between Christmas and New Year's, right? But what I'm hearing from people is that not only is it hard to get back into the groove, but that something feels different. The holidays didn't feel connected. They didn't really feel like holidays. Family time didn't feel really connected. I think there's still a lot of disbelief and definitely a lot of discord in our political environment and in our political discussions, and perhaps being around family that might have disagreed with us sort of brought that to the surface. But people are feeling really disconnected, really separate from not only what they once had, but also sort of from their vision of what's coming next. And that's why when we get into a situation like this, where we're like, it's really hard to get back into the groove, we really want to resist the temptation to just have that mindset of, well, just do it. Just suck it up and do it. If it gets you going enough that you're getting your ass to work and you're getting your bills paid and you're taking care of your shit, yeah, but I really want to strongly encourage you not to stay there. For one, it's not sustainable. You will wear out. For two, it's not emotionally nurturing to you because you will become resentful. You'll become resentful of all the things you put into your routine. You become resentful of the job, your kids, the school, parent-teacher conferences, whatever the thing is that you consciously put into your life. You'll begin to resent it because now it becomes that thing you have to buckle down. You have to just like dig in and just get it done, right? And that attitude, if that's what it takes to get you to a place of being productive again, okay. But if you choose to stay there, you are unintentionally redefining your life view. You're unintentionally redefining what you value in your life as being something that's working against you. You put it in your life for a reason. That job, your skill set, these kids, the boat payment, the whatever it is, you've chosen this. And if you begin to treat it like an obligation, if you begin to treat it like nothing but an obligation, you'll forget that these are value adds that you at one point saw worth in, that you at one point saw the value in. And then you'll have this longer term hurt and resentment toward not just your choices, but the people that represent those choices. And it gets harder and harder to come back into who you are, harder and harder to come back into where this all started, to redefine those things. I think that's how we get to that place where you don't know what you got till it's gone, and then you leave it and you go, oh shit, that actually really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. What was I thinking? It's because we sort of manhandle our lives, this Western culture of really, go out there and make something happen. It's a temporary, I think it should be treated like a temporary fix. It should be treated like maybe that leg up to get you going, but at some point there needs to be some other reflection that allows you to tap into a different fuel source, because that one, that manhandling one, that very masculine, just get it done one, is going to wear out unless you refuel it, unless you come to it from a different space inside of you. Here's what I suggest, and here's what I'm doing for myself. Because remember, these scopes, this is not about me just giving advice because I know shit. No, this is about me taking what I do know and watching my own struggles and listening to the struggles that you share with me and finding out how to overlap those two things in a way that's meaningful and helpful for everyone. So this is a practice, right? This is something I'm always doing for myself. I'm always coming back to center. And what I have found works for me, if I have to, emergency situation, or I'm just not getting my shit together, sure, suck it up, get it done. That's one way to do it. But if we're not staying there, if we're choosing to walk in a different path in our life that is of grace, that is of gratitude, that is of abundance mindset, that is with the heart and soul to grow and move past just paying bills and just being a worker bee and just us. If you have that heart and soul to do more, then a better place to come from, two options. One for me has always been, I come back to, why am I doing this? Why have I put this in my life? Is it still useful? And sometimes I have found that the thing that used to just be part of my routine isn't useful. I can get rid of it. Oh, lighten the load. Oh my gosh, now there's less that I have to manhandle my way into anyway, right? So there is that one way of coming back to your why. Why did I choose this? Why do I continue to choose this? Does it still serve the purpose that I chose it for? If not, is it worth morphing and changing, or is it worth just sacking? That's one way. That didn't really work for me this time, because a lot of the things that I put in place, if you've been following these for a while, you know that I've been making a lot of changes. I don't just make resolutions one year, honey. I am constantly pushing and growing and testing and evolving, right? So it's not like the things I have in place are a year or 2 or 5 years old. Things I have in place are very intentional on a regular basis. So that didn't work for me this time. Coming back to my why and evaluating those, that didn't work for me this time. Here's what I've done instead. And actually it has really been, I've been really super productive as a result. I just got super calm. Didn't like my list, didn't want to get to my office, didn't want to hit my computer, didn't want to make any of these choices. So I said, that's okay. Triffany, what do you want? Just ask myself that question. What do you want? And I started to look around at my list, and I started to think about some of the projects that I had that were in flux, or in the middle of before the break. And I started thinking about what I was building and what do you want? What do you really want to do? And whatever the answer was that came, that became like a little project that I could dive into, that I could sink my teeth into. And before I knew it, that project was done. Well, that was the genesis or the building block, the building piece for the next project. And now I had a piece that I was actually excited. Okay, I want to see if this piece fits into that next piece. And my energy became one of excitement and curiosity and playfulness, and made me super, super productive. Until I needed a break, and then I'd allow myself the break. No judgment, right? Can you feel the difference between that energy? If you are just manhandling your way into what you think you chose for some good reason, it's there, so I might as well just do it. Shit's got to get done. If you're just doing that, the energy is exhausting. It's not sustainable. It is, but it comes at a cost, usually of your health, physical and mental, and it comes at a cost of your well-being. But if you can either come to your why or just open up and ask yourself, okay, what do I want to do? Really genuinely, deeply want. Not what's a craving I want to address, what's some quick fix, but really going in and asking, all right, so I don't want to just dive into the whole routine. What little piece, what digestible piece do I want? Doing that and allowing that to fuel you as you produce, allowing that to fuel you as you create, that's sustainable. You're not trying to fill up this vessel of energy so that you can spend it in your routine anymore. You're filling up as you spend. You're filling up as you spend. You're filling up as you spend. And when you find yourself out of balance, you're tired, you need a break, you need to refuel in a different way, socially or with a nap or whatever, then you honor that, and you can do that without compunction because you've been so productive. Right? Isn't that better than just beating yourself, making yourself do the bare minimum and then knowing the whole time it's only the bare minimum and really you should have done more? Now you've got all that guilt, shame, it all just gets really heavy, right? So when you are struggling, Triffany, when I am struggling and I have that temptation, when you have that temptation to just go at it, go hard, go big or go home, suck it up, buttercup kind of idea. Remember there are alternatives. Remember there is a cost. There's a benefit. There's also a cost. And ask yourself, is that a cost that's willing to take on in the long term? If the answer is no, you have a couple more options. You can get really clear with yourself, your why. Why are you doing this? Where did you choose it? Is it intentional? What can I get rid of? Or you can just allow. You can really come to this quiet space inside of yourself and really get curious about what do you want to do with this time, that's hour that you've blocked out to do so. What do you really want to do with that? And get super curious with it and playful and allow that to fuel you as you expend your energy. So let me know how it goes. Keep me posted in the comments, either on the blog at tiffanyhammond.com/blog or on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/TriffanyHammond. It is Triffany, just like Tiffany with an R. I hope you come back. These are Wednesdays at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And maybe perhaps we'll work together someday through the membership or a course or, hey, something. A Course in Miracles, Passion on Purpose. There's a shit ton of stuff we can do together if you want to and you're willing. Give yourself a great big hug from me. I'll see you next time. Be good to yourselves. Goodbye, my lovelies. No more manhandling. Unless it's the fun kind.